Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Derek and this is the guidebook, and we're backpacking Mirror Lake and Crater Lake via the Cascade Creek Trail. This is an out and back trail that's 14 miles round trip with about 2,150 feet of elevation gain. We're doing this as a 2-night backpacking trip, but I couldn't show you any of the hike in last night because some of our group got in really late, so we had to hike in the dark. But we just hiked in the first 3 miles and set up camp, and we're going to continue on the rest of the way to the lakes today. Quite a few people on the trail this morning. Hopefully we can get a campsite.
You want a photo?
We've been climbing from camp and it really hasn't been that bad. There's some little steep climbs and it kind of flattens out for a little bit. Really not too bad at all. And these views are gorgeous. We're about a mile from the lake now. We just checked out campsites 1, 2, and 3. All of them are open, but I think 1 is the only one that would really work for us, / is like the best site. And it was open, so if none of these sites up by the lake are open, then we'll probably go back to that one and hopefully it'll still be open. We got up to the lakes at the top and I went to check campsites 4 through 7 while these guys came over to this side and check out the rest of the campsites. 4 through 7, 4 wasn't great, 5 was decent, and 6 was decent, and there was no one at either of those, but there was someone at 7, so I didn't really go up and check that one out because I didn't want to disturb them. Then I came back around over here and these guys had found 10, which was pretty solid. 11 and 12 were both taken, and I don't even know if they checked out 9. I just kind of walked right by until I found these guys. But 10 is a great site. We got a pretty solid spot with a beautiful view down over the lake here. This is incredible up here. We're probably gonna hang out at camp for a little while, probably get everything set up, and then maybe we'll come down here and take a dip in the water. We had an unfortunate turn of events. Barrett hurt his knee pretty bad on the way up, and he thought if he just hiked slow and gave it a little bit of time to rest, it'd be okay. But after we were sitting up here hanging out for a little while, it started hurting more and more. And he thinks if he lays down to go to sleep tonight, he might not be able to walk when he gets up in the morning. It's hurting that bad. So we made the executive decision to hike out tonight just so we can make sure we're getting him down in time, because him and Thomas do fly out tomorrow afternoon and we don't want to be stuck up here and have them miss their flights. I know this trip didn't go at all as planned, you know, starting really late on Friday night and having a night hike in and having to head out tonight and not actually getting to spend the night up by the lake. But it's okay, you know, this kind of thing happens. We'll definitely be back, whether it's to backpack this or to day hike it again. Catherine also was not able to join us because we were on a week-long backpacking and hiking camping trip with Thomas and Barrett this past week, and Catherine and our 2 dogs, and one of our dogs, Tucker, actually hurt his pad on one of the last hikes. So Catherine made the executive decision to take the dogs home and try to make sure that they could rest and we could heal up Tucker's pad. So she wasn't even able to be here for this hike, which already kind of stinks. And then Barrett got hurt. So we just decided it's best to head down, and I'm totally okay with that. I would have loved to stay up here for the night, but I would much rather have Barrett be able to like sleep somewhere comfortable and have his knee not hurting super bad. Having to hike 7 miles down tomorrow, that would be ridiculous. And I want him to enjoy this experience as well. So it's okay. We still had an amazing time. we still got to come up and see the lake, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm not really bummed out. I wish we would have gotten to stay here, see a beautiful sunset and a beautiful sunrise up at the lake. I really also wanted to take like some nighttime shots, try to get the stars over the lake, but we'll be back again. It's no big deal. When you're out in the backcountry doing things like this, you need to be able to adapt and change your plans if somebody gets hurt or if anything happens. It's never worth it to get stuck in a really bad situation. I also wanted to explain the permit system here. If you're just day hiking this trail, you do not need to get a backcountry permit in advance. You just sign the little logbook at the bottom letting them know you're in the area, and you can hike all the way up and come down the same day. If you want to backpack this area, you need to go on recreation.gov like way in advance when the permits come out. I would try to be on like right at 8 a.m. when they come out, and you need to reserve your permits for these backcountry zones. And you cannot camp up here unless you've got that permit. And you have to make sure your permit's for the correct amount of people, if you're bringing pets, for the correct amount of pets. And the permits are not expensive. It's like $11 to get a permit. So just make sure you're doing that if you want to backpack this trail. If you just want to day hike, you just show up, make sure you sign the logbook, make sure you're prepared for the mileage and the elevation, and you have all your right equipment and you're safe, and go for it. But if you're backpacking, you need to be much more prepared. You need to get those permits well in advance. If you do have a permit to backpack this area, make sure you're in the correct zone for your permit on the correct date. And if you're camping up here near Crater and Mirror Lakes, make sure you're camping in a designated site. Camping is only allowed in designated sites up here, and campfires are not allowed. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then subscribe to the channel. And if you visit this area, please make sure to follow all the local rules and regulations. Be prepared, stay safe, and leave the trail better than you found it.